First, I'm going to start off with setting the definitions for this debate so that it can run smoothly, and then I will jump into my contention, informed decision-making for opening government. So we define this House as NATO. We define veto as power as to the ability to overturn or refuse a policy or proposition, and politicians are elected individuals within a democracy. So why don't we get right into it? I think when we look at this debate, it is very important to consider that the power that we're giving to these military officials is simply veto power. So we're not giving them the ability to propose what a nation should do or what course of action that they should take. What they are doing is that they are given a proposition made by politicians who are elected individuals within a democracy, and then based on their experience and their skill set, they're able to decide and inform the politicians whether or not this decision is a good one for the nation in a long term. So this idea of informed decision-making is very important and crucial in this debate because of the ideas of war. Politicians are elected in based on their principles of economic policies, of social policies, and a lot of the time a war comes in the middle of a term. So you don't elect a government to deal with that sort of situation, they're just sort of there. So you already haven't elected these officials into these positions of power where they're making decisions that have far-reaching consequences. But because of that, you don't know that they have the skill set required to deal with these decisions. But you have faith in these military officials who have seniority in the military and have therefore dealt with a lot of these situations in the past. They have experience, they have a history, and sort of a background that can better inform these kinds of decisions. And thank you, POI.
Politicians will also ask for professional opinions on these missions on our side of the House.
Thank you. I think what we see in today's world is that people will go to the sources that give them the answers that affirm what they already believe. And because of this, it is very important to have people who are sort of impartial to this sort of idea, because politicians are motivated by being reelected. What they are doing is essentially throughout their entire campaign, they want to stay on the good side of the citizens so that they can get reelected in the next term. And because of this motivation, we see that they can make decisions that aren't good for the nation in a longer term, but they don't see those far-reaching consequences because they are more focused on this imperative that they want to be reelected when the next election comes up. So why is this so important? We want a trust in the government, and when you have a situation as dire as a war or an involvement in a conflict that is so severe where people's lives are at risk, and that's where the weighing in this debate becomes very important. This isn't simply, adding another step in a bureaucracy to make things more difficult. You are dealing with the lives of your citizens, with the lives of the soldiers that you are deploying in other lands, and you're also dealing with the lives of the civilians in these other nations which you are attacking for whatever reason. No thank you. And because of this, we have to realize that it is a good thing to have more checks and balances in place when things like this are being decided. So when you really look at it, the politicians sort of lack the skill set and the characterization that would make them good at making long-term military decisions. While we can agree that politicians are good at making economic decisions or social impacts that affect our daily lives, war is something that is different, and therefore an experience in the military such as one that these senior officers would have is very helpful and crucial when it comes down to making decisions that will have consequences on a lot of people all around the world. And this is, I think, what we really want to characterize in this debate. It's this idea that you're not taking away the power from the government or the politicians. You're putting another check and balance to make sure that these decisions are the proper ones. Sure.
If an officer goes rogue, will you remove them from their position?
I think in order to get to a point of seniority, you have to have proved yourself in the military to begin with, and that's a fringe case, so yes, we would remove them. But in the large majority of cases, you have well-informed individuals who have proven their loyalty to a nation through, battle experience and through hardships that they've suffered. And because of that, they know the sort of consequences that happen when you make decisions like this. So I'm just going to start wrapping up here and go over what I talked about in this debate. I think the most important thing that we have to realize is that it's another check and balance in a system that is meant to help the people. And because of this, the idea of informed decision-making is one that we strongly believe in on side proposition. There is nothing wrong with adding another layer of security to make sure that the decisions you are making, which affect the lives of soldiers, of citizens, of people all around the world, are ones that you're making for the right reasons and that will have far-reaching consequences that you are willing to accept in the long term. It is for all of these reasons I am so proud to propose, and I